What if I told you that the most powerful move you could ever make is to walk away, without a word, without warning, without looking back? Most people assume they can treat you however they want, believing you'll always be there, always available, always chasing. But when you remove yourself completely, no texts, no calls, no closure, you force them to confront something they never expected, a life without you in it. In this video, I'm breaking down exactly what happens when you disappear. Not just the surface-level reaction, but the deep emotional turmoil they go through when they realize they've lost you. By the end of this, you'll understand why silence is your strongest weapon, why vanishing teaches them lessons they'll never forget, and why emotional independence is your greatest strength. If you've ever been taken for granted, drop a comment below saying, "I refuse to be an afterthought," because after this, you'll never be one again. And stick around until the end, because there's a bonus stage that will change the way you see yourself forever. Now let's dive in. 1. The initial shock. They don't see it coming. At first, they brush it off. They assume you're just upset, that you'll come back, that this is temporary. But as the days go by and there's still nothing, no calls, no messages, no sign of you, the reality begins to set in. People are comfortable when they feel in control, when they assume you're an option, when they believe you'll always be there. The moment you remove yourself, that false sense of security crumbles. They don't just notice your absence, it stuns them. 2. The sudden realization. Something feels off. At first, they try to convince themselves they don't care. I didn't need them anyway. They'll come back eventually. I'm better off. But as time passes, something starts to feel off. Their routine feels empty. The people around them don't fill the space you left. And suddenly, the silence becomes louder than anything they've ever experienced. They thought losing you wouldn't change anything. But now, they feel the weight of your absence everywhere. 3. The obsession. They need to know where you are. Uncertainty is a powerful force, and when someone disappears without explanation, the human brain goes into overdrive. They start scrolling through old messages, checking your social media, maybe even asking around about you. But you've gone dark. No posts, no updates, no clues. And that's when panic sets in. Who are they with? Are they happier without me? Did they find someone better? The less they know, the more they need to know. And what was once casual curiosity turns into obsession. 4. The regret. They start questioning everything now. Their mind shifts. Instead of wondering where you are, they start asking themselves the tough questions. Did I take them for granted? Was I too distant? Did I ruin something good? Without you there to reassure them, to fix things, or to keep the connection alive, they're forced to sit in their own mistakes. And that's when regret starts eating away at them. They remember all the times they ignored your effort, dismissed your feelings, or assumed you'd never leave. And now, with every passing day, they realize they were wrong. 5. The desperate need to reach out. At this point, the regret turns into urgency. They need to hear from you. They need to know if there's still a way back. So they start testing the waters. A random, "Hey, hope you're doing well." Liking an old photo. Dropping subtle comments to see if you'll respond. But when you give them nothing, that's when they start spiraling. They thought you'd always be there. They assumed you'd never truly leave. And now they're realizing you're gone, and you're not looking back. 6. The illusion of freedom falls apart. At first, they try to distract themselves. Nights out, new people, mindless scrolling, anything to fill the emptiness. But the distractions don't work, because the truth is they never expected life without you to feel this different. They thought moving on would be easy, that finding someone else would make it better. But what they didn't realize is this: You weren't replaceable. And now, they're stuck with a reality they never prepared for, one where you don't exist in their world anymore. 7. The games begin. Desperate attempts to get your attention. Now, they switch tactics. Since reaching out didn't work, they try to trigger a reaction. Posting photos with someone new. Acting like they're happier than ever. Dropping vague captions about growth and moving on. But what happens when you don't respond? When you don't even flinch? That's when they realize the game is over. Because they expected you to care. They wanted you to feel something. But instead, you've moved on. And nothing unsettles them more than knowing they no longer have control over your emotions. 8. The crushing weight of silence. Nothing is more painful than realizing your absence speaks louder than words. They were ready for a fight, a conversation, a dramatic back and forth. Even an argument would have given them the validation that they still had some kind of hold over you. But what they weren't ready for? Silence. Nothing. No messages. No closure. Just the unbearable weight of knowing that you're gone. Every single day without a response chips away at their confidence. Every time they check their phone and see no notifications, they feel it deeper. Every time they replay moments in their head, hoping to make sense of it, they realize there's no way to rewrite what's already done. They feel the loneliness creeping in. The reality of your absence is undeniable. They can't distract themselves from the silence anymore. And now, they're stuck with one unbearable truth. You are truly gone. 9. The fear that changes everything. At this stage, it's no longer about ego, pride, or control. Now they're afraid. Afraid that you're never coming back. Afraid that you're happier without them. Afraid that someone else now has the version of you they took for granted. And that fear, it eats away at them. They panic. They break. The idea of you moving on, of living your best life, of possibly loving someone new, it destroys them. So they scramble to fix it. They send long emotional messages trying to explain what they couldn't say before. They try to remind you of the good times, hoping nostalgia will weaken your resolve. They apologize, promising they've changed, begging for another chance. But here's the problem. By the time they feel this, you're already gone, and there's nothing left for them to fix. They thought they had all the time in the world. They thought you'd always be there. Now they realize they were wrong. Bonus. Your ultimate realization. This is where everything shifts. Not for them, but for you. Because when you disappear, you don't just leave them behind. You reclaim your power. You recognize something that changes everything. Your happiness was never dependent on them. You don't need their approval. You don't need their validation. You don't need their attention. You are complete on your own. And the best part? They know it too. They see you thriving. They see you growing. They see the person you've become, the version of you they never appreciated. And now, they have to live with the knowledge that they lost someone truly valuable, someone irreplaceable. This is where you win. Because while they're trapped in the cycle of regret, wondering if they'll ever get another chance, you're already moving forward. And that, my friend, is true power. This is why walking away is the most powerful thing you can do. They will go through these stages, whether they admit it or not. But by the time they truly understand what they lost, you won't care anymore. And that's the goal. Not revenge, not bitterness. Just complete detachment. If you're ready to stop being taken for granted, comment below. I refuse to be an afterthought. Because from this moment forward, you're not an option. You're the prize. Now, do me a favor. If you know someone who needs to hear this message, someone who's struggling to let go, someone who keeps giving people chances they don't deserve, share this video with them. This could be the exact wake-up call they need to step into their power. And if this message resonated with you, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because this channel is about one thing: building the strongest, most unshakable version of you. Now go live your life without them.